Hello, my dear friend. Welcome to this part 2 of number system where we are going to discuss the divisibility. What is divisibility first? We'll try to understand divisibility. If any number can divide other number perfectly or exactly, then it is divisible by that number. For example, if we take 4, it is perfectly divisible by 2. So you will get the answer as 2. Is that clear? So 4 can be divided. 12 can be divided by 3. So 3 4s are 12 in that. So there is no decimal coming here. When there is no decimal coming, then it is exactly divisible. So there will be no requirement of any decimal points. So no decimal points means it is exactly divisible. No decimal point. So these are called divisible. So there are some properties. So if you understand that is, and whatever can divide. So we'll also understand what factors here. So if we take 12, then 12 factor is 3. The factor of 12 is 3 here. Means this can divide. What is a factor? Factor is a number which can divide the other number perfectly or exactly. 3 is a factor of 12 because 3 can divide 12 exactly without giving any remainder. So that is what is called a factor. So now let us understand some properties of the divisibility. What is the first property? First property says that if a number a is divisible by another number, then any number divisible by a will also be divisible by b and by all the factors of b. Means what? If say for example 24 is divisible, if a number is divisible by, say for example, it is divisible by 6, right? Then any number divisible by a, any number divisible by a will also be divisible by b and by all factors of b. So now what we have to do, this is a and this is b. So you have to take one more number which a can divide, then any number divisible by a. So now this is the factor. Try to understand. B is here. What happens here? B is a factor of a. Is a factor of a. Try to understand. These are very very important lessons you need to understand. B is a factor of a. Now what you have to find out is what are the numbers which are divisible by 24. What are the numbers? 48 will take, for example. 48 can be divided by 24. Is that correct? Any number divisible by a. What is the number? 48 or 96 or 72. All these numbers are divisible by 24, right? So these are numbers which are divisible by 24. Now here the factor is what? Factor is 24, and the numbers or the multiples we call it. So these are the multiples, right? So these are the numbers which are divisible by a. 48, 96, 72 and so on. There can be infinite numbers are divisible by, all of these are divisible by 24, my dear friends, right? So if it is divisible by 24, these numbers are also divisible by b. That is what it is saying. Whatever number is divisible by 24 is also divisible by 6. Why? Because b divides 24 exactly and 24 divides 48 exactly. So 6 also has to divide 48 because that is the factor. So 48, if we see, it will also be divisible by 6. That is the first one. So 6 8s are 48. 1. And then 48 is also divisible by the factor of 6. Now we are seeing the factor of 6. Now we saw the 24 multiples, see factor of. What are the factors of 6? What are the numbers that can divide 6 here? 3 can divide, 2 can divide, yes or no? Yes. So we'll see the divisibility rules as well on the basis of this. So 6 can be divided by 3 and 2, yes or no? 6 can be divided by 3 and 2. So this 48, which is divisible by 24, can also be divisible by 6 as well as its factors. So it is divisible by 3 as well. 3 1s are 3, 3 6 are 18. Can you see here? And 48 is also divisible by 2. This is the rule. Did you understand? Simple, very simple. If any number is divisible by another number, then the number which is divisible by the first number is also divisible by the second number and its factors. Is that clear? So here 24 is divisible by 6. So 48 is also divisible by 6. So also 48 is divisible by the factors of 6 as well. Is that clear? Because 6 divides 24 perfectly, it can divide 48 also perfectly. This is one part. Second part is 48 can be divided by the factors of 6 as well. So 2 and 3, which are factors of 6, can also divide 48. I think this should be clear now. Now we'll go to the property number 2. Property number 2. So if you have to, you go back and see the property number 1 once again. This will also be helpful in your HCF LCM. So remember it properly. Now we'll see here. If two numbers A and B are divisible by a number P, then their sum will also be divisible by P. This is what it is saying. If two numbers, if you take any two numbers that are divisible by another number P, then their sum is also divisible by P. So we'll take some number. For example, say for example 4 will be our P. This is our P. I am going it reverse, so don't think. 12 and 8 are divisible by 4. Yes or no? So this is A, this is B. So 12 and 8 are divisible by P. Then what it says is the sum of this. If 12 and 8 are divisible by 4, then the sum of these two should also be divisible by 4. Is it divisible by 4? Absolutely divisible. Okay, this is logical as well. This is commonsensical as well. If it can divide 12 and 4 can divide 8, then it can divide the sum of them. Sum of them is 20, which is also divisible by 4 because this all comes in the same table. Can you understand? 4 2s are 8, 4 3s are 12, 4 5s are 20. So all those will come in the same table. So even there is the property of the numbers also will discuss where you will understand this. So this you need to understand. If any two numbers are divisible by any other number, then the sum of it should also be divisible by that number. Is that clear? Okay. So let us go to the next. Third, what it says, if two numbers, it should be numbers, A and B are divisible by a number B, then their difference is also divisible by P. So it is only the reverse of it. So if I take any number, say for example 27 and 36. 27 and 36 are divisible by 9. Okay, 9 3 is 27, 9 4 is right. Now, okay, if I take, we'll take 72. Okay, 27 and 72 will take. Then the difference should also be divisible. In this case also we can see that 27 minus 36 is 9. So 9 is divisible, perfectly divisible. 27 minus 72 or 72 minus 27. How much it will be? It will be how much? 45. Is it 45? Yes, 45. So 45 is also divisible by 9. So the difference between these two, 72 minus 27 or 36 minus 27. These are also divisible by 9. If any two numbers are divisible by a number, then the difference between those two numbers are also divisible by that number. Is that clear? So the three properties we saw is, if A can divide another number, A can divide another number, then that another number can also divide the multiples of the previous number or its factors as well. That is the first one. Okay. Second one is, if any number can divide two numbers, then the sum can also be divided by that number. And if any two numbers are divided by another number, then the difference is also divisible by that number. Is that clear? Now we'll go to the divisibility rules. Now we'll try to understand what is divisibility rules. See, this is one of the shortcuts. See, this is one of the original shortcuts we can say. So what is this shortcut? What is the shortcut? We'll try to understand. So divisibility rules means we will find out whether any number is divisible by another number without actually dividing it. I'll repeat it. With the divisibility rules, we will be able to find out whether any number is divisible by another number without actually dividing it. Okay. So what is this then? Last digit. So what I have done is, there are divisibility rules. You might know, you might not know. I have classified them. There are four types. There are four. I have classified them into different types. So the first type, type 1, is your last digit. Type 1 means the divisibility rule can be found by last digit or digits. Last digit or digits means what? You will see here. First example. Say for example, if you want to find out whether any number is divisible by 2 or not without actually dividing, you can find out what is the end number. For example, 4368 is there. So what I can find out, if I see only the last digit is 8. 8 is an even number. You know what is even number and odd number? Odd number. So even number definition itself is it should be divisible by 2. If it is divisible by 2, then it is a even number, or else it is a odd number, right? So all these things you know, so I am not going to very detail into it. Odd number means the number which is not divisible by 2, and even number means a number which is divisible by 2. So when the last digit is an even number, then it is divisible by 2. That is very, very clear. Now second, only last digits we are talking about. So by 4, whether if you want to find out whether any number is divisible by 4 or not, what you will do is, you will not see only one number, you will see two last digits, last two digits. I will show it in a reverse order. Say for example, you know that 24 is divisible by 4, right? 24 is divisible by 4. So if I write anything behind it, 1, 3 or whatever, the whole number will be divisible. You need not have to check whether from all these four numbers are divisible. You have to check only two numbers, because we know 24 is divisible, then 31, 24 also is divisible by 4. How? We'll see here. 31 means 7s are 28. Now what is remaining? 32. 32 means what? 8s are 32. Then what will remain? 4. So that is the answer, 781. So it is perfectly divisible because there is no decimal. Did you understand? You have to see only last two digits. If last two digits are divisible by 4, or those last two digits are 0, 0, 0, 0, if the last digits are there, then it is perfectly divisible by 4. So you can see here 70 and then 5 is 20. So that is how you can find out. Is that clear? So for 2, it is last digit should be even. 4, it should be last two digits should be divisible by 4, or they should be 0, 0. Same way, we can see 5 here. 5, if the last digit is 5 or 0. If any number is having 5 or 0 as its last digit, say for example 315, this is perfectly divisible by 5. Or if it is, say for example 340, it is perfectly divisible by, only we need to see the last digit. Last digit, if it is 0 or 5, then it is divisible by 5. Same way as we saw in the 2, divisibility by 2. There it is even numbers, here it is 5 or 0. Now next is what here? So I will erase this all link. What is next here? If the last 3 digits are divisible, 2, 4 and 8, they see 2 double is 4, so again 2 digits we'll see. 4 double is 8, we'll see 3 digits. 3 digits. For example, we'll take what? 424. Is it divisible? 824 will do. 824, because I know perfectly that it is divisible by 8. Now you can write anything here. You can write anything here. Is that clear? So now it is it whether it is divisible by 8? Very simple. You can just remember. So 7s are 56. Then 20 will come. So 2s are 16. 16 means how much? And so 8 8 is 64. So 728 is the answer. Whether the answer is correct or wrong, you can check it, because I think it is right. Is it clear? Is that clear? Okay. Now what else is there? 25. Again we come to 25. 25 again you can see 5 5 is 25. So here what will happen? If the last two digits are, what should be the last two digits? last two digits should be 25, 50, 75 or double zero. If the last two digits are 25, 50, 75 or double zero. Here you can use those properties as well, because 25 is divisible. See, any number which ends in 25 is divisible by 25, so it will also be divisible by its factor. 5 also it is divisible. Right? Okay? Fine. So 25 means last digit should be 25, 50. So if you want, I can remove the ink all over the ink here, and you can take a screenshot, or you can note down. Note down is much better. Next divisibility rules are sum of digits. What do you mean by sum of digits? So I'll take some sum of digits, 7, 2, 4 and 5. So these are the 4 digits. So number, this is the number. So till now what we saw is last digits. Now sum of digits. Sum of digits means what? We are going to add the digits here. 7 plus 2 is how much? We are going to add only digits. Okay. The face value. 7 plus 2 is 9. 9 plus 4 is 13. 13 plus 5 is 18. 13 plus 5 is 18. Whether 18 is divisible by 3, 18 is divisible by 3, then this should also be divisible by 3. We will see whether it is divisible. 3 2s are 6, 3 4s are 12, 3 1s are 3, 3 5s are 15. Did you understand? If the sum of the digits is divisible by 3, then the number is also divisible by 3, my dear friend. So you need not have to do the actual calculation. Only if you want to find out whether it is divisible. This will help you in fast calculation, because if you know that the divisibility rule, you will be using the bigger numbers. Say for example, I'll take the same example and I'll go to the next one. By 9, sum of digits are applicable only to 3 and 9. 3 and 9. So see here, again we'll take the sum. Sum is how much? 18. 18 is divisible by 9. Yes or no? 18 is divisible by 9. It is divisible by 9, not 1, it is 2. Then the 72, 20, 45 is also divisible by 9. 72, 45 is also divisible by 9. 9, how much? 9, it is 75 and then 0 and 8 not 5. Is that clear? Right? So it is divisible. One more thing. We'll also do a lot of, there are a lot of applications of this. We'll use this in simplification. Okay, we'll also use it to check the correctness. All these things will happen. When they come, I'll tell you. Sum of digits you need to understand. So what is digit sum? So whenever we are doing the digit sum, you can ignore whenever it adds up to 9 or when there is 9. Say for example 9 3 7 2 4 okay, 2 3 6 is 2 3 6 is okay. Now you can ignore whenever it adds up to 9 or it is 9. So for whenever I am adding digit sum, how do you do digit sum is what I am showing now. Adding digits is what I am showing now. You need not have to do this 18. We can do it directly. So say for example 9. So I'll ignore it. I'll take 3. 3 I cannot. So 7 plus 2 is 9 again. So I'll ignore it. 3 plus 6 is 9. So again I'll ignore it. I'll take only 3. So the digit sum is 3. How? And whether it will work. Say for example, you take only these numbers. How much it will be? 9 plus 3 will be 12. 12 plus 7 will be 19. 19 plus 2 will be 21. 21 plus 3 will be 24. 24 plus 6 will be 30. So whenever we are doing a digit sum, there is also one more rule. You have to make it one digit. So again you can add these digits and make it 0. 3 plus 0 is 0. 3. So therefore, even if I ignore, it will happen. We can take any example, like for example 18. 18 digit sum is how much? 9. If I ignore it, what I will get is 0. So whenever you get 0, it means that it is 9. 0 is 9 only for digit sum, not for all. Don't take it for everything. Digit sum only I am talking about. So here we will take one more example. 2415 is there. So 4 plus 5 is 9. So I will ignore it. So what will come here? The digit sum of this is 3. This will again save your time. You will be able to do the calculations faster. And on the divisibility rules, there will be some questions, very less number of questions, but the applications are more. So we need to remember it. Next divisibility rules are special rules. Special rules like 7. 7. So 7 will take an example. We'll take an example and then we'll try to understand so that you will be able to understand it better. I am taking a number which is divisible by 7 now. Okay. Now I have to find out whether this is divisible by 7 without actually dividing it. So what I'll do is, see if the difference between double the last digit and the remaining number is divisible by 7 or 0. It's a little bit confusing. We'll do and see. What I'll see, the difference between the double the last digit. Last digit is how much? 3. So double is 6. Now what I have to do? I have to subtract this from 398. I have to subtract this from remaining number, the difference between the remaining number and the double of the last digit. So what I will get? 392. Okay. So again 392 is a big number. Again we have to calculate. So I can continue this. I can again double this number and subtract from the remaining number. I can double it. So 3 into 2 I have done 6 and subtracted from 390. 2 into 2 is equal to 4 and subtract it from this. So what I will get is 35. If you know that it is 35 is divisible by 7. 7 5s are 35. Now you need not have to go further because then it will be 10. 3 minus 10 will be, okay, 10 minus 3 will be 7 anyways, minus 7 or whatever. But this is enough. You can go on doing a little bit bigger numbers as well. So this number 311983. Okay, I am going to do it. So double this number. What I will get? 31192. You have to do it faster. Okay, 4. So 3115. Then 5 to the 10. So what it will be? 301. Again 2 you will take. 1 double is 2. Are you following me? 1 into 2 is 2. So this will be 28. So 28 is divisible by 7. So this number is also divisible by 7. Instead of doing it, calculating every number, it is much better to do this one. You can do it faster if you practice a little bit more. So here if you want, we can do this as well. So 24, 22 means 2 into 2 will take 4 and it will be 248. So what will take? We'll take the last digit into 2, 16. 23 minus 16 is how much? 7. So 7 is divisible by 7. So it will be divisible by, same way you can take 17409. Okay, 9 double is 18. So 18 I will remove. So it will be what? 17, 22. So 2 into 2 is 4. So 172 minus 4 is equal to 168. 8 into 2 is 16. So 16 minus 16 you will get 0. So if you get 0 also, then it is divisible by 7. Right. So next special rules is 30. I am going to teach you up to 15. Above 15 is not much required. So 13. If the sum of 4 times the last digit and the remaining number. Now here it is sum. Please observe, this is sum here. I am bored with this red color, so I am going to take one more color, that is blue. So now 13. Any examples here? 9789. So we will do only this thing. So here this is sum. Here it is sum. The sum of 4 times the last digit. Remember, it is 4 times the last digit. 4 times the last digit means you have to 9 into 4 you have to do and add to the remaining one, which is very very important. We are adding here, we are not subtracting, my dear friend. We are adding here. So how much it will be? 1014. 1014 again 4 4 the 16 will make and add to the remaining. So it will be 117. Again we'll 7 4 the 28 plus 11. 7 4 the 28 plus 11. 7 plus 28 is 39. 39 you know is divisible by 13. So this is 33 the 9. So 9789 is also divisible by 13. Next is 18954. We'll do it here. 18954. 4 4 the 16. Add 16. How much it will be? 1895, 1905, 1911. So 1 for the 4. So 4 I'll add 195. So 5 4 the 20, I'll add 20 here. Again, what I'll get is 39. Again, 39 is divisible by 13. So this number is also divisible by 13. Is that clear now? Is that clear? So this is how we are going to do. Here we are going to add 4 times. In this 7 we are going to subtract 2 times of the last digit. Now one more rule like that is 11. 11 is also a special rule. If the difference between the sum of numbers at odd places and even places is divisible by 11 or 0. Again we are going to take an examples to solve this so that it will be amply clear. 6 to 6 2 6 7 8. What I'll do, you just see. I'll take alternate numbers and add them. I'll take alternate numbers and 6 6 12. 12 plus 2 it is 20. So this is the sum at numbers at odd places. Odd places. Odd places. So this is the first place, this is the second place, this is third place, this is fourth place, this is fifth place. If we start from left side. So we have added only the numbers that are in odd places, which is 20, and then we'll add the numbers at even place. 2 plus 7 is equal to 9, and if the difference is 11 or any number which is divisible by 11 or 0. So what is the difference? Difference is 11. So it is divisible by 6 to 6 7 8 is divisible by 11. You can do it yourself. Is that clear now? Is that clear? We'll try to solve one more question so that it will be more clearer. Okay. So what is the one more? Here I am going to teach you. This is the first method. I am going to teach you one more method to solve this. One more method to solve this. Please observe it. 8 3 5 6 1 2 8. Instead of doing adding these things, what I am going to take is I am going to take the adjacent ones and subtract and find the cumulative sum. Cumulative sum. Cumulative means what? We are going to add to it. Say for example 8 plus 8 minus 3 is how much? 5. Now what I will do? I will subtract this. 5 minus 6 is minus 1. So here cumulative will be 5 minus 1 4. Okay. And then 1 minus 2 is again minus 1. So 4 minus 1 is 3. And if only 1 is remaining here, 3 plus 8 is equal to 11. Got it? I'll explain once again. I'll explain once again. Okay. I'll explain with this. So what I did is I adjacent numbers I subtracted and cumulative sum I took. Okay. So what I did is here is 8 minus 3 is 5 because this is in odd place, this is in even place. So the difference between them should be divisible by 11. That is what we are doing. So what I'll do? 5. Then 5 minus 6. Now it is minus 5 minus 6. First number is small. So minus 1. Cumulative is 5 minus 1 4. Then what it is? 1 minus 2 is equal to 1 minus 1. Minus 1. 4 minus 1 is equal to 3. Then 3 plus 8. Only 1 is remaining. So 3 plus 8 is equal to how much? It is 11. Here also we can do 6 minus 2 is how much? 4 plus 4 here. 6 minus 7 is how much? How much? Minus 1. So 4 minus 1 is equal to how much? 3. 3 plus 8 is equal to how much? 11. You got it? You will be able to do it faster once you start doing it. Every day you practice it, you will be able to do it. So next is combination. Combination. What is this? Okay. So we'll put all of them together and we'll understand. This is only screenshot you have to see, and there is nothing I need to explain. Only thing you need to understand is 6 is divisible if the number is divisible by both 2 and 3. This is what it says, right? So if it is divisible by both 2 and 3. So for example 12. 12 is divisible by 6, right? Why? Because it is divisible by both 2 and 3. Both 2 and 3. But if you see, say for example, any number which is divisible by 6 is always divisible by 3 and 2, right? So for example 27, if we take 27 is not divisible by 6 because it is only divisible by 3 and not divisible by 2. Then it is not divisible by 6. So whenever you are checking the divisibility rules, if you see that it is divisible by 3 and 2, you immediately go and divide it by 6. Or you can go further and use this method. Okay. If any number is divisible by 3 and 4, then it is divisible by 12 as well. So means what? Say for example, I will take 48. 48 is divisible by 3 because the sum of digits is how much? Sum of digits is 12. 12 is again, if you make it one digit, it will be 3. So 3 is divisible by 3. So therefore 48 is divisible. 4 what? 4 two digits we are going to see. 4 48 is divisible by 4. Therefore it is also divisible by 12. If any number is divisible by 3 and 4, it is divisible by 12 as well. So when you are checking, if you see that it is divisible by 3 and 4, then you have to mark it as divisible by 12 as well. Same way, 14 is divisible, any number is divisible by 14 if it is divisible by both 7 and 2. You know how to do it. 7 I am going to repeat it again. Double the last digit, subtract from the remaining number. Again, double the last digit, subtract from the remaining number. And 15 is what? If it is divisible by 3 and 15. If it is divisible by 3 and 15. So combinations you can make easily whenever there are say for example two factors are there, you will be able to do, right? So you will be able to do these questions. So divisibility rules is over. This is how we are having 4 types of divisibility rules. One is last digits. One digit is even, then it is divisible by 2. Last 2 digits are divisible by 4. Then the whole number is divisible by 4. Last digit is divisible by 5 only if the last digits are 5 and 0. Then we have 8 where the last 3 digits are divisible by 8, then the whole number is divisible by 8. And there is 25 where the last digits are 25, 50, 75 and 00, then it is divisible by 25 as well. Then we saw the sum of digits. Sum of digits is 3 and 9. How to do sum of digits. We also saw how we can do the sum of digits in an easy way by ignore 9 rule. We can ignore 9 or whenever 2 numbers or 3 numbers add up to 9. Okay, so that is for 3 and 9. 7 we saw, 13 we saw, 11 we saw, and we are now looking at 6, 12, 14 and 15. So up to 15 you have learned the divisibility rules. Those are good enough. You need not have to worry about more. Is that clear? So next video I am going to come up with again some part of number system. So before that you have to solve some questions on divisibility rules. You have to find, I am going to give you some numbers. You have to write in front of it which are the numbers which divide those numbers. You have to use the divisibility, not calculator or not your old method. You have to just see the sum of digits, see last 1 digit, 2 digit, 3 digit combinations, and then if it is divisible by 7. So every number if you do, you will get the hang of divisibility rules. Please, when you are learning, I am taking much pain to give you the fundamentals, because fundamentals are going to change. They are going to change your results. They are going to make or mark whether you get selected. Therefore, you do all the exercises. It may be painful, it may be hard work, but you will be able to perfect them. Once you perfect them, you will be able to perfect. Is that clear? So next video we are going to meet after you finish what? After you finish your assignment. Thank you.